brilliant people. So today I'm going to talk to you about intuition for introverts. So I guess to begin with, I should actually talk about what an introvert is. So a lot of people think that an introvert is just someone who's really shy or maybe socially awkward. Well, no, that's actually not what an introvert is. That's just somebody who's shy or socially awkward, and can be very many reasons for that. But an introvert is actually someone who recharges their batteries by having alone time. They actually are someone who needs to go into themselves and sort out their internal self and get themselves all realigned to hopefully who they truly are, in order to have that energy to go out there and deal with the world again. An extrovert, just to complete the picture, is someone, they're a little bit the opposite. They actually get recharged by having lots of stimulation, by going out into the world, experiencing the variety of life. That's an extrovert. So, but today I'm talking about introverts. And the thing about an introvert, because they're so good, hopefully they're good, because if they don't learn to go inside and connect with who they really are and their alignment to themselves, they're probably going to feel quite fatigued a lot of the time, actually. So with a healthy introvert who has actually been practicing that, who's been going inside, connecting to who they really are, well, that kind of awareness of their own internal alignment is going to be such a strength for their intuition, because they're going to know when they're going to just operate from that base of internal alignment. And so then when they're focusing on their intuition, they'll just know, because they've practiced it so much, whether the things that they're focusing on really sit with that internal alignment, really strengthen that internal alignment, or take them away from that internal alignment. And so whatever it is they're focusing on, they'll work on it until it really does strengthen that internal alignment. So they tend to make far fewer mistakes with their intuition, because they're always coming from that place of personal connection. So what is the weakness then of like an introvert's intuition? The weakness of an introvert's intuition is, of course, then, the outside world, which is to say, how to then apply their intuition. So because there are actually two parts to intuition. There's the internal alignment, like knowing what it is that we really want. And then there's the external alignment, like, right, where is it? Which way do I go? How do I apply it in the world so it's actually going to, come to manifestation? Now, the thing is that in order to make that happen, actually, what people who are introverts, the best way for them to learn to do that, rather than having that, weakness of like, the outside world's too much for me, that actually feels like the outside world is too much for an introvert, because often, the outside world is so chaotic. It often obviously doesn't hold the same alignment as they do inside. So to begin with, it's about really learning to hold this internal alignment stronger and stronger, until you can kind of start to extend it out into the outside world. Now, I don't mean kind of projecting it in a really heavy way. I mean, it's almost more like, when you're moving through a crowd, so Pitt Street Mall here in Sydney, although of course not at the moment, because we're kind of back in lockdown at the moment. But normally Pitt Street Mall is a very crowded place. But any place that's really crowded for you, streets of New York or wherever. So when you're moving through the crowd, I mean, you could just go, no, I'm going in this direction, and you just barrel in that direction. And if people get in your way, well, too bad. Well, yeah, I guess that'll get you there. But, you're going to actually annoy a lot of people in the process. there's going to be all this resistance in the way. You may actually, sometimes you may even have to come to a full stop. Whereas when you understand that, well, I'm going that way, but you can feel, you know, it's almost more like choreography. So because you can feel this internal alignment and that's where I want to go, then you're actually like allowing the external world to show you when those moments line up. So the more that you can do that, the more that you'll start to understand that you can actually extend your internal alignment out into the world, and you're actually waiting for those moments to line up. And when you get better at it, you actually can then almost start to create that alignment. But in many ways, that's more what extroverts are good at. So I will talk more about intuition and extroverts in another video. So until then, remember that you're brilliant.